Quit lollygagging!
Finally got a proper headset. Alright, so back to training. I don't understand that combo. Yeah, I'm not sure what that's all about. That's gonna give me some problems. Okay, maybe I need to not jump forward. I don't understand how to do that. tripping me up big time. I need to see if I can figure this out proper.
Control Z. Shut up! Oh, battery. Go to hell! Offering. Kill. Now still alive. Kill. Get off, see you soon. No more. Refresh. Shut up. Save this one. Get off, see you soon.
Alright. We almost got it. Almost got it. Was that worth it? Was that worth it? I wonder. They didn't build me one bar, so not happy with it yet. I was supposed to do that and then go to work. Wait, what? Wait. I wanted to let me get that. Why couldn't I get that? Did I already use all my bell? Or stun?
Get over here! Save this one! Offering!
Why couldn't that work? What did I do that I want to let that work?
Just a moment.
Back over. Alright.
We'll see you soon.
Oh. So, did I like use all my ground bounce or something?
We'll see you soon.
We will return.
Get
To me, more.
See you soon. Refresh. Low battery. Control Z. Critical state. Down, still alive. Buffering. Down, refresh. Buffering. Down, still alive. Refresh. Buffering.
Hold on. That still doesn't work? Alright. Let's try something else. Let's try. Huh. It just won't get that to me at all.
Down, Control Z.
Really? Okay. Can I just not use a heavy again? Gotta figure something out.
Let's go! To me! To me! We will return!
Oh, battery.
Go to hell!
Critical state.
Go to hell! To me!
Offering. Oh, battery.
Go to hell!
Control Z.
Really? So just any other hit, they're just like, nah, bro. We're not giving you that at all.
Control Z.
Okay, that's
Oh, battery. Offering. Still alive. Refresh.
Shut up!
boy. trying to aim for that puffer out. Huh. I fail. Oh, how do people do that?
Save this eye. Critical state.
Go to hell!
If that is all I can get, then
No battery.
Send more!
not for this dude.
Hardware interrupt. Critical state. Now still alive.
Ah, I forgot what I was going to do. Grab. That was not what I wanted, but I guess I'll have to take it.
Control Z.
How was I in the air though? Why was I in the air? Did I like air grab? I didn't notice. Why am I in there? Why am I in the air? Oh, so there. That's why.
Refresh.
Shut up!
Offering. Low battery.
Fine, I'll take it. Huh.
Control Z.
Shut up!
4. Critical state. Down. Control Z. Still alive. Down. Refresh. Control Z. Critical state. Down. Still alive. Control Z. 4. Critical state. High. Still alive. High. Down. Refresh. High. Low battery.
Sing more!
High. Out. Out. High. High. 4. Refresh.
Shut up!
Just not sure what I can do anymore.
Just a moment.
Maybe that's not a good assist. Change.
Painwheel! Squiggly!
Ready?
Tally-ho! Double! Eliza!
Now! Save the spot.
We will return.
Ready? See you soon. Save the spot. See you soon. Save the spot.
Hold it!
Not sure, but I want to do one more.
We have returned.
Let it
No, no!
Let it Let it
Submerge.
One surprise! Over here!
Submerge. 1.
Over here! Over here! Over here! To me! To me!
Return. Pardon me. Pardon me. 1. Arpeggio. What arpeggio?
One!
Quack. Arpeggio. Now. Ready?
Ashes!
Arpeggio. Submerge.
Let it
No.
Let it Just a moment!
Save this one. See you soon.
We will die!
See you soon.
I am not sure what I want for an assistant for.
Let's go, Samson.
Hell yeah!
Painwheel!
Ready?
Tally-ho!
Get ready.
Hold it! Quit lollygagging!
Oh boy.
Not possible.
I might just gotta accept that.
I won't fail. We are bound. Save the skull. Not possible. Don't get caught. We are safe the skull. Your team's
I wonder. Okay, that does not work. Will it work if I'm in flight? I doubt it, but... Alright, I gotta check another bread and butter, because that one's just not working this screen for me. And I do. And I do. Alright, we're gonna try this again. Huh. Alright. Starting to see this.
To me.
I won't. Don't get cocky.
Ah.
Just a moment, let's go!
Oh.
I won't finish.
Shut up!
What? Aw.
Don't get caught.
Aw. Okay, you know, that'll be enough. Let's step on Squidly now.
Squiggly!
Ready?
Tally-ho! Robo Fortune! Parasol!
Meow.
Tess!
Offering. You should lie down. Don't strain your back. Blade whip. Take this. Blade choke. Critical stage. Don't silver cord.
To me!
We are bound. One. Silver cord. Full battery. One.
To me!
One.
To me!
Get over here, me. Huh?
Alright.
You've got spirit.
It would.
Hatcha. Maybe I'm done with Skullgirls for now. But you know what I want to do? I want to do some King of Fight. Or you know what? Maybe Marvel Infinite. Fine, why not?
The King of Fighters 14.
Alright.
Member select. Stage select. Ready, go!
gotta recheck that combo. Not worth it. That worked. Then that. Hello, welcome. Just training in King of Fighters. That's what's going on. You're new to King of Fighters? 14 in general or King of Fighters in general? Yeah, King of Fighters. Whew. It is quite a game. Well, if you play Tekken, then King of Fighters may not be too much of a transition, in my opinion, since King of Fighters is also pretty heavy on movement. But instead of like sidestepping and backdashing, your primary movement is going to be coming from how you jump a lot. There's kind of like roughly 4 different jumps. If you actually go into King of Fighters 14 tutorial, they do kind of highlight the different jumps in the game. That's probably really going to be the biggest hurdle when it comes to playing King of Fighters. Learning the different jumps, recognizing them, and knowing how to properly anti them, as well as how to properly pressure with the jump system. Granted, there are also characters who can kind of bypass that learning by just playing like either strong keep away game or having like armor and whatnot. Yeah, short hopping. Like this is short hopping. Like this is just regular short hopping. Then there's hyper short hopping, where you just travel even further distance. Like this is hyper hop. That's what they call it, hyper hop. And then this is just regular hopping. Hyper hop, you travel much quicker, but you travel much quicker. This is definitely for being aggressive. Sorry, this is hyper hopping. This is definitely for being aggressive or trying to move away quickly. So yeah. The reason you want to use regular hop is regular hop kind of lets you technically, well, basically it's more of a defensive probably traveling, where you don't move so closely to your opponent. And that's probably once again the thing that's going to parallel between King of Fighters and Tekken, the movement. Just as when you need to know when to sidestep certain attacks, as well as to close in or backdash, you're going to want to know when to hyper hop or when to just regular hop. Then of course it's knowing your character's option to deal with it, but yeah, that's probably the thing that you're going to want to try to get used to the most, which is the hop system. Of course, this is not to say that walking and running don't have places. They definitely have their places. Especially some characters are definitely just better being on the ground than being in the air. Ryo's really good. He's actually a really, well, sorry. Personally, every character is roughly really good outside of maybe Xanadu. And even then, he can even be used to counterpick a few characters. But one of the good things about Ryo is his normals are pretty fast, and generally they're safe by either being barely punishable to even him being plus. And then he does also have a parry system, which is almost similar to Tekken's universal parry, where if you do 3 and kick, that kind of acts like Tekken 7's universal low parry. But then he even has a high parry with 4 and light kick. So yeah, that's definitely a character who you can definitely get used to real quickly, coming from somewhat of a Tekken background. And then his gameplay is just straightforward. He just harass opponent with his good normals and buttons, and just get some good confirms and hit people. Do you know what position you plan on having him? Because that's probably the next biggest thing about King of Fighter, is knowing characters' team positioning. They're definitely not exactly hard in stone. Like, they're not hard in stone where this character has to be point, this character has to be anchor. You can technically mess around based off matchups. So his pairs like Jin. I have very limited experience with Tekken. I just know, if anything, very surface level of Tekken. But yeah, middle and anchor, he can definitely with that, since he does use meter well, and yeah, he actually does use meter well. So middle and anchor is pretty good. Generally, it's preferred to have your most favorite character as anchor instead of having a favorite character anchor. So if Ryo is your favorite character and you feel the most comfortable with him, then you may want to keep him anchor until you get comfortable with a couple of other characters. I guess I could showcase some Ryo stuff if you want to see something. I'm not a Ryo main. I just play him here or there. I did like him for his parry, but I can't say I'm a Ryo main. But he definitely has very good buttons, definitely. But yeah, King of Fighters definitely will be a lot of situational recognition, which is standard in a lot of fighting games, but in King of Fighters it definitely becomes more prevalent. But at the same time, thankfully, King of Fighters does have some go-to options if you're willing to spend your meter to keep things safe, not safe, but keep things simple. Yeah, Maxima is definitely one of the stronger point characters. In fact, he's one of the few characters who don't really get a lot off of meter, so it's rarely that he even gets put in middle or anchor unless you want to use him to counterpick a few matchups. Since a lot of anchor characters are kind of in the Shoto archetype, which will include characters like King, actually Ryo, since he's sort of a Shoto, Kiyo, and Ayori. A lot of people like to have, you know, well-balanced character as their anchor so they can kind of handle any situation. But Maxima is one of those characters who can kind of shut down a lot of other characters' options. And as you said, he does have a lot of meterless damage. Meter don't really increase his damage, but they also give him more mix-up as well as probably a little more situation that could like, hey, I got a not full screen command grab, but overall he does still make meter work in some capacity. But yeah, he's definitely one of the best in point. So starting off, if you want to use Maxima in point, I definitely feel that's a good way to start. And Clark, yeah, considering how your characters technically have no mix-up, then Clark would definitely be your mix-up character, and he's definitely preferred in middle. So yeah, that's pretty much a good standard team going, not standard, but that's definitely a good team to go with. Clark, sorry, not Clark, Maxima point. You know what, let's go ahead and go to character select. I could definitely view this better in that form.
Member select.
So yeah, Maxima point, definitely recommend it. Clark middle, not a bad choice. And Ryo anchor, since that's your most probably comfortable character, then yeah, him anchor is definitely good. And if you ever get more comfortable, then you could probably even switch up Clark and Ryo's position. Have Ryo be the middle and have Clark be the anchor, since yeah, he can definitely use meter a lot really well. And like I said, Maxima, I haven't played with this character. I generally keep him point unless I'm dealing with a character who, well, unless I just deal with another point character who actually gives him trouble, such as anything like mix-up characters, other mix-up or other grapplers. Maxima kind of struggles with, in my opinion, because one of the good things about Maxima is he does have armor moves to kind of power through zoning and a few oppressive things. But a lot of other grapplers or command grab, or characters who have command grab, they kind of just blow through that. So yeah, that's when I usually consider not putting Maxima point and may try to put him mid or have another character altogether. But that's just how I kind of approach it. But yeah, I do think that's currently a pretty good team to start going with. Maxima, Clark, and Ryo. All of them do have pretty good straightforward game plan. Maxima harasses with the rocket punch, and usually just uses good normals, since his normals does have respectable range. But then again, he's also one of the characters you definitely want to get used to the movement, because he's not a guy that wants to move as much. Or rather, let me tell you that, when I use Maxima, I actually don't want to move around that much with him. And if there's one, his jumping normals are not the greatest. They have their purposes, but they're not the greatest. With pretty much my favorite one being his jumping light attack, since he's just a great overall hitbox, good angle, because I'm pretty fast, and also you can cancel it. So yeah, one of my personal favorite buttons is jumping light attack. But all his other buttons, not that great. I mean, this is great when you have the offense, but then again, that's when you get the opponent to basically, you pretty much have the condition opponent to kind of block him, which is not the easiest thing to do, unless they just really start getting afraid. But pretty much with Maxima, your neutral is spacing between properly with this, because they can't punish this unless you whip it, unless they either guard cancel roll or just space itself properly. And then, well, like I said, you can deny projectiles. And not only that, I believe he does have armor at some point with this. Well, not against lows, but medium. Yeah, Florida man, not that good. Oh, hello, Strat Dick. Thank you for joining me. But yeah, Maxima, that's generally his main game plan. Just harass with this whenever he can, and then once they're kind of afraid to lock this or try to challenge this, then you can at least try to run some pressures, either with that, or command grab, or just kind of harass, because he does have more armor buttons, such as this. And in fact, this is where meter does actually begin to help him out. And he can make random confirms be really good. Oh dear. Yeah. Yeah. Florida man ain't good at combos. Simple? Well, hey, that's why I'm training. The concept is there. I'm just not good at it. So yeah, if you do have meter, then that's what Maxima can capitalize on. He can do that in point, but once again, generally point characters kind of want to not use your meter as much, so your middle character can use it more. But, you know, that's something you got to kind of determine how you want to use it. I think both are pretty good as anchor characters. I'm not an expert, but the only reason I'll be even slightly skeptical of putting Clark as an anchor is because then you really have to be good on the neutral game, because a lot of popular anchors such as Binomaru, Kyo, Ayori, as mentioned, a lot of point characters usually be the round balance, aka shuttle characters, and generally most anchors have some zoning potential, usually. I mean, I think Diamond is also considered an anchor, but he doesn't really have zoning, but his buttons are still really good, so if he wants to keep you out, he can very much do so. And that's what I think Clark may struggle with, since Clark does have trouble getting around zoners. But if you can get really comfortable with that, and if you're very confident in your neutral game, then yeah, still run on Clark anchor. As you mentioned, he just does damage, so you can probably just even kill that other opponent really quickly. I'm not going to say that they're better at anchor, rather that is the common pick for them. Like, that's a common pick, and that's where King of Fighters kind of becomes a very tricky game to play at higher level, because then like, once again, for example, Maxima, he is a point character, but then another person pick another point character who may counter pick him. So then you're with the dilemma of, do I want to keep Maxima point because I'm about to go up against a matchup where Maxima struggles with? So then you can be like, well, I can actually just put Maxima in another position so he doesn't have to deal with that troublesome matchup and whatnot. So now the most common thing is one of the good things about Shoto characters such as Ryo, Ayori, and Kyo is the fact that generally Shoto characters are good in any position, but they're commonly put in the anchor because you kind of want to be well-rounded in the in your last man, your last line of defense. You kind of want to be well-rounded because you can kind of then handle most situations. If we put a specialist character in the anchor, then you're like, well, I'm going to have this very good advantage, but then I'm going to suffer in these other areas. And if you're confident in doing that, then by all means, yes, stick with the specialist. For me right now, my anchor is primarily always Athena, since she is kind of sort of a shuttle. Even though she's technically considered a point character because she can pretty much build meter for the team very well and uses doesn't really use meter. But the reason I like to keep her Anchor, because outside her being my favorite character and I feel the most comfortable with her, I do feel she does counter against other zoners quite well. Or rather, I think she does well against other Shotos, so I like to keep her Anchor, even though primarily Athena usually stays in point. Like if you look at most Athenas, they kind of have her in point instead of Anchor. But once again, that's what I want to choose to do. I want to play the Anchor with the more or less counter other Shoto characters. And having having Clark and Anchor, once again, is not a bad choice, because even though he will struggle against zoners, at the same time, you will just delete characters' life bars really quickly. So, you know, if you could get around people zoning and then land a hit, odds are they're probably going to lose that character. But yeah, the general rule of thumb is to have a Shoto for Anchor. But that's just starting off. Once you get to high level, you're going to see people kind of miss that up. Well, just remember, this is just an advice, and not even from very. Actually, I won't say I'm a very good player. I'm just familiar with the game. It's best to definitely do things that you feel the most comfortable with. I'm only giving what I know and notice, and whether you follow that or not, that should be up to you. If you definitely don't feel comfortable with your as your Anchor, then by all means, don't do that, because experience would be the best teacher, and maybe your experience will show you how Rio may not be the best Anchor, or maybe he is better middle. It's better for you to just actually try it, and just play how you want to play. I mean, look at me. Like I said, I play Athena Anchor, and that's not really a common position for Athena, but that's what I want to do. The only reason I would recommend, if anything, having Rio Anchor, just because, in team games, personally, when you lose the character that I guess you feel the most comfortable with, when you lose those characters, then just trying to micromanage with the other characters who you're still trying to get familiar with, kind of becomes very daunting and discouraging. At least that's from my personal experience. In fact, let me ask is Rio the character that you feel the most comfortable right now, or are you just starting off with? Because I probably have assumed that poorly. At the same time, I say, luckily, Rio is one of those characters who can fit any position, so he's flexible enough to be anywhere. But I just say, for starting off, it's usually preferred to have your favorite or most comfortable character as your last line of defense. Then, yeah, in my opinion, I'd say it's best to keep him as your main until you're more or less feel very comfortable with the game in general. And then when you're trying to find your other characters, then you should definitely have them be point, so you can then work up experience. For example, Dragon Ball Fighter Z. Dragon Ball Fighter Z, the character I feel the most comfortable with is Regiren, and that's because I have him point for like a good 2 or 3 months. But I need to get my Janemba, who's my second character, better, so I started putting him point and just started playing with him, so I got more comfortable with him. Once I got comfortable with Janemba, then I was able to, move around my characters. Like, when you want to get comfortable with your characters, definitely put them point so you can get your experience with those characters. But then once you're kind of comfortable with them, then you kind of want to be more mindful of where you put him. if Rio is right now currently your main character, but you don't really have any other character, then best to just keep him in the back so you have like your backup plan, if anything. Like that's your backup plan. For me, Athena is definitely my backup character. Like she's a character I'm willing to try any matchup with. While my other characters like Massimo, Mien, I'm like, I have no idea how certain matchups handle these characters, so I'll just stick with the, alright, put this character in this position, put this character in that position, but my backup plan is Athena in case all else fails. But that's how I personally approach it. Starting off, I mean, I'll say definitely get other opinions. I'll say go to Dream Castle Discord or forum, read up on it, and see what some people say, try some things out, and yeah, see how it works. But overall, you definitely have a sound team since you have one shoulder-like character, which is Rio, who's more of a powerhouse, so he does damage. In fact, actually, your whole team does damage, looking at it as a whole, because Massimo does damage and Clark does damage. But yeah, Massimo is kind of probably your strongest neutral character. Since he can definitely shut down a lot of options, and since he has armor, so he can even power through a few things. Overall, your Massimo should be your checking character. In other words, like, hey, do you know how to deal with this? Well, if you don't know how to deal with this, then let me go ahead and keep abusing this until you show me you know how to deal with this. Like, Rocket Punch with Massimo is strong, and that's what you should do. Just keep Rocket Punching until your opponent shows that, hey, I know how to deal with your Rocket Punch, have some other tricks up your sleeve. And Clark, he is your mix-up character, so you're pretty good with that team. You got one mix-up character, one good neutral character, and one good well-rounded character. So that sounds like a good team to me.
Stage select.
If you're starting off, you can also ask some people to just do 1v1 so you can definitely get comfortable with certain stuff too. But yeah, I'll say the first thing to really get mindful is actually while your characters definitely don't have the strongest zoning, they also do have a lot of ability to shut down zoning. Rio has parry, so your opponent can't just zone you out for free. Massimo does have his armor moves, and Clark, I mean, he probably the one that suffers the most, but then at the same time, he does have also a visibility command grab that just kind of goes through a lot of stuff. So yeah, and even though zoning is definitely stronger in King of Fighters 14 compared to other King of Fighters, if anything, just get comfortable with instant blocking, because instant blocking will limit the chip damage as well as guard damage you take, and you will build meter. So yeah, but yeah, because one of the problems with my team is my team technically has no mix-up, so because I play generally Massimo, Mien, and Athena, we basically barely have mix-up. I mean, two of my characters has command grabs, but there's a lot of ways to deal with command grabs in this game, so basically I have no way of really opening my opponent without either just trying to guard crush them or just harass them. But then again, that is personally my game plan. My game plan is to just outplay my opponent in neutral by poking, harassing, and whatnot, and just frustrate them. But if my opponent ever has a life lead and they're like, well, nah, I'm not gonna come to you, I got the life lead, you come to me, my team's gonna struggle with that. So I mean, it is what it is, and if your team's gonna struggle against zoning, I mean, just deal with it, get used to it, and make it work. That might be true. So yeah, if that's what they recommend, then I say consider that, give that a shot. Maybe your Rio can definitely be better somewhere else, probably middle and whatnot. So yeah, I could definitely see I could definitely see Clark having a stronger comeback since he is your most damage dealing character in the group. So if that's definitely what you want out of your anchor, then yeah. Personally, I want my anchor to be someone who can kind of handle multiple scenarios. She doesn't kill characters quickly, but she can handle multiple scenarios due to her being a Shoto, and then she's also a better zoner than most other zoners in the game. So I choose to have that. But her survivability, she can get killed by even middle characters. So I definitely want to recommend people to put Athena anchor, but that's what I want to do. Until maybe I learn better, then I'm like, yeah, maybe I'll stop putting her anchor. I'm not sure if you've seen this video, but this definitely still pertains to King of Fighters 14, so hopefully that can help you out. Well, yeah, that's definitely true. Clark is your mess-up character. He's definitely a mess-up character, so yeah. So it doesn't matter what you value. If you're definitely a person who likes to play more of a mess-up style and aggressive style, then maybe Clark Anchor is the best choice. Since I play a very maybe honest, or since I like to play very neutral focus, I like to have my neutral strong character be my anchor, which is Athena. It's very good. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, this is technically part of my very first stream, so thanks for sticking around. I don't understand. Oh, Florida man does not have combos. Well, I just felt like playing King of Fighters. I was on Skullgirl for the last 2 hours, and that got exhausting real quickly. All right. Let me go ahead and change for another character for now.
Member select. Stage select.
Yeah. I mean, King of Fighters 14 is still a pretty decent game. So that's why I still personally play it. Then again, I kind of like almost all fighting games, so I rotate a lot. Like, I'm probably going to jump on Marvel's Capcom Infinite pretty soon, because I still got some combos, so I need to get better on that. I mean, that's what draws you into characters. Yeah. I mean, fighting games, you do pick characters, and they kind of sort of become your avatar. Sometimes they're a perfect fit where they match even your aesthetic and ideology, or sometimes you just pick them because you like how they function. For me personally, I'm a very big fan of samurai characters. Just I like characters who do exude some form of discipline. Outside of that, I'm usually kind of open to most character archetypes. Usually, I mean, one of my most favorite character in King of Fighters is Seth, because I like how, well, he's a professional-looking black dude, which I think I like is cool. But then I also like how he plays a very defensive style, which I would do if I was a martial artist. I'll play a very defensive style, such as Aikido or something similar to that. I like the idea of using my opponent's attack against them and whatnot. I like this character Mian. I like this character Mian because she's a entertainer, and I personally like to entertain people by being very like, people tell me that I'm very, what's the word I'm looking for? I want to say energetic. No, flamboyant. That way you remember. Basically, I show a lot of energy and theatrics, and that's one reason I like Mian, because she's a very theatric character. Since she's actually, well, an entertainer, so I definitely like that of her characteristics. So it's definitely not so you know, picking characters because you like them because they're big and burly, or they're karate, or because you see yourself in them. That's A-okay. That's definitely how you should. Usually, you should definitely pick a character that you like more so. I mean, if that's how you feel, then yeah. I mean, that's the great thing about fighting games. Normally, you got multiple different type of archetype and styles and whatnot to the people. People like to play very aggressive, so that's why you got your rush down and mix up characters and whatnot. Me, because I like to play very slow, that's why I play zoners. Granted, there are also zoners who are very fast, but yeah, I like to think my way out of scenarios than just kind of try to just try to brute force through certain things. I try to think my way out of scenarios. That's definitely one of the reasons why I like zoners or very neutral based characters, since usually you gotta kind of think your way out of your scenario. I'm more of a thinker than I'm a physical person. Yeah, that's definitely true. I mean, you can't hit your opponent if you're not close to them. What's that? Florida man does not have combo. I work in the corner? Right in the corner. That worked. I suck. Yeah. I'm not that really good.
Member select.
Actually, I should have played Nodge. It's been a minute. In fact, yeah, let me play Nodge. I'm definitely haven't gotten used to it.
Member select. Stage select. Showの始まりだぜ。Ready? Go!
What? Retribution. Oh, that's the hell. Uh-huh. That combo? I don't. I'll take it. Alright, that was. I'm gonna jump on another game now. What game I'm gonna do right now? Yeah. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and end the stream for now. Thanks for everybody who joined, and